Hey, what's going on everybody? Coming back at you. It's been a while since I've done a video. Something's a little bit different this time though. I'm actually following one of the things I've been wanting to do for quite a while. And that is making my own fishing lures. I played with some remelts here a while back. Just kind of goofing around, trying to make my own molds, which didn't work out real well. So I ordered 3 small molds, actually 2 small molds, and they sent me an extra one by mistake. That was wrong, and so I've been playing with that. The other day I got my order of dead-on plastics in and some colors, so I've kind of been mixing and playing with my own colors. So what we're going to do tonight is I've already got some pre-mixed colors, so blue, chartreuse, some of that other stuff. So we're going to shoot a couple molds of that, and if my camera will stay clipped onto my shirt here, we will take you through that heating process and all that stuff. So stay tuned and we'll get cracking here. Alright, looks like this thing is on. Hopefully this is a good angle. It's hard to tell. I can't see. Anyway, here we go. Here's some baits that I shot last night. I tried to make this a watermelon color and it really didn't turn out very watermelon-y. Everything is kind of stuck together. I need to get some oil on these, but these are my version of the brush hogs. You know, not too bad. Brush bugs, which are kind of like D-bombs, and my wacky craws. Like I said, I don't know how well you can see those colors, but the glitter looks pretty good. So those were those. I shot those last night. So let's see, what are we going to make here? Got electric blue, chartreuse flash, electric grape. I don't have the flake for my green pumpkin yet, and I've got a color. Let's make this. I don't have a name for this color yet. It started off being one thing and then didn't turn out to be that way. So I have yet to name it. So we're just going to roll with it. Now, I chose to go with dead-on plastics. I watch, shout out to Chris Jones at World's Worst Fishing. I've been following him for the last couple months, watching all his videos. The guy is excellent. I would say that if you're getting ready to or interested in starting to make your own baits, check out his channel. He is super knowledgeable, does some awesome things, especially his colors. He's awesome with his colors. So, but here a while back, he did a review for the this dead-on plastics here. This is the worm sauce. I don't know, the worm formula. There's several different, like 4 or 5 different kinds. This is the worm formula. So my baits are kind of soft. Those wacky crawls do really, really well with that soft material. So they've got a soft. They've got which is the worm. They've got a jerk bait stuff, a crawl formula. I think one other one. So, anyways, he did a review with them. That's kind of a cool color. But he did a review of them here a while back, and you know, everything he does, he puts he has to put, find my scissors here. He has to put hardener and softener and heat stabilizer and all that stuff like that, which is very expensive, especially when you're first starting out. And I don't know if you guys' wife is like my wife. They're not going to let you go spend a crap ton of money just because you think that you want to do something, which is smart. She keeps me in check. I don't blow our life savings on silly stuff. But anyway, he did a review of this dead on plastic, and it's low smoke. You don't have to mix any of that stuff with it. You just heat it up and go. So super simple to work with. Goes in white. Cook for 3 minutes. Comes out clear. You're ready to rock and roll. Alright, so let's try this again. I'm going to pop this in here for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We're going to let this start heating up, and then we'll come back to you. Okay, we're back. So this probably needs about another 15 seconds or so. So it's pretty close to about 3 minutes all in all to heat one of these up. So what we're going to do, so while that's doing that, we're going to take a little oil. We're going to do our molds up real quick. This is just a little olive oil just to keep it from sticking. It's cheap. It's not hard on the plastic. And it's easy to come by. Real quick, these need quite a bit on those. Now they do come out a little bit greasy, but that soaks into the plastic and then you're alright. Kind of makes that plastic a little bit more supple. It's better than them sticking. So if you've ever had hot sticky plastic, you know that's no fun. You got to watch these. The biggest thing is to let these cool in the mold long enough, because if not, when you go to try to take them out, then everything wants to try to stick together. So my molds look dirty, but they're from the gloves I was wearing last night. They were rubber palm. I do suggest that you wear gloves. It is a little hard to work with. And a little remnants of some stuff. So let's check our plastic. You guys can't tell you're in my laboratory, which is aka my downstairs bathroom that we hardly ever use. So I got too cold outside in the garage. I couldn't keep the heat regulated, so I had to move inside. If you guys can see that, I like that color. So we should be good. Let's check the temp. We're sitting at 322.7. That's right about right. So here's my injector. It's a 4-ounce injector, but it seems to work pretty good for what these are here. Steady pressure. You don't want to move too quick, but you got to stay on it pretty good to make sure that you don't splatter yourself with hot plastic. And you don't want plastic to sit up on you. So I just kind of set that to the side now. Let that chill out. At this point, while I'm waiting on that, what I usually do, this will be hot. It's not so bad the first time, but when you start doing a couple runs, it does tend to get really hot. Just use your belly to poke that out. Stick it back in there. And you're good to go. Now, depending on how quick this cools off, this first shot's usually not too bad. It's when your mold starts heating up that it takes a little bit. Split that. There's the D-bomb, or as I call it, the brush bug. My version of it. Peels right out of there. Peel that sprue off. If you guys can see that flake in there, That flake looks pretty good. Here's the other side. Throw it over to the side. Here's my version of the brush hog, which I call hog hunter. Again, that flake is pretty nice. I like it. I don't know. It's kind of like galaxy pictures or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to call that color. If you got suggestions, drop it in the comment. And I'm more than appreciative on that. There's that craw. I'm just not sure what color. It's like a deep blue, but with all the different colors in it. A flake. It's pretty awesome. And got to come through and pick the little pieces off of it from the mold. But yeah, it's pretty much that easy. It takes a little bit to get started, and then like I said, I'm going to make a run here of several, so I'll come back to you guys here in a little bit after we go through a few of them, and I'll catch you guys up on what's going on. Alright, we're back. Now, I had a little bit of a mistake here a minute ago. I should have had the camera on for that. I was just trying to get ahead of myself and go too fast to get this done, and I didn't get a complete shoot on it. It was incomplete. One of the brush bugs did not have its flappers. So I don't know if I'll get one of these or not. We'll have to test them and check them out and see how they are. Also, something too, if you want to shoot real good, you're going to take your time and watch your temperature on your liquid. I reheated some plastic. The sprues and stuff that came out of that I reheated, and I just went ahead and shot them. But I realized, I don't know, you kind of get a feel for it when you're shooting it, and something didn't feel quite right. So I checked the temperature after I'd already shot them, and it was almost 350, 360 after I'd already shot them. So when I shot them, it was probably pushing 380 to 400, which is probably a little too warm for that. So I was hoping that we wouldn't have any issues. I normally shoot somewhere 320 to 340, just depends. These you got to be a little careful with. Those little ridges like to stick. But last time, all I got was the body, and I got one of the little claws, but the little flappers did not turn out. So I had to throw them back in the pot, start all over. Usually, the one good thing with getting a higher temperature right off the bat is, as long as you don't let that cool off too much, sometimes you can get a second shot on your plastic if you stir it up. So let's stir it up real quick. Man, I love that color. I think I'm going to call that Cosmos. Kind of looks like a starry sky. I don't know. We'll just have to see. So we're 301. I'm going to go ahead and shoot that. I'm going to slap my gloves on though, real quick, because that injector is getting hot. Actually, it doesn't look like I cleaned it from the last time. Clean that dude real quick before we do cool off too much. I can tell it's starting to gel up on the bottom. It's real slow and steady. If you try to shoot it too fast, you're going to get an incomplete mold. Make sure your cavities are full. just hold pressure on them, and then when you pull up, just shoot a little bit more in that cavity. Really, this 4-ounce injector works perfect for these 3 molds. And try to clear it, but there ain't gonna much come out. And then if you push it too hard, your top pops off and goes in your hot liquid. So while that's doing that, I've got a little bit of liquid right here. I'm gonna go ahead and throw back in the microwave for about 15 seconds. Make sure it's nice and warm. It'll get time to cool while this cools down. And then I'll go ahead and, while that usually doing that, I go ahead and I clean this injector off. And then when I start to run low, I'll just throw all that back in the cup and reheat it. And by this time, that's getting a little warm. A little warm, y'all. Son of a... Let's see how hot that thing is. 119, 118, 120. So, yeah, that's pretty hot to the touch. It's like sticking your hand in scalding bath water. So let's break these dudes out of here real quick. See how they turned out. One of them sucked down real easy, so I'm a little nervous whether I can get any complete pour. That one looks pretty good. I'm probably going to have to re-grease these. I've tried a couple different things as far as greasing the molds go. Really, that olive oil seems like it's the best. You get the most shot per treatment out of it. Does that make sense? I can usually get 3 to 5 injections before I have to re-oil the molds. I don't know exactly if that's good or bad, but I tried WD-40 and a couple other things, and not so much. You can see his toe when the mold starts to dry out. They kind of get that. I don't know. It looks like they're a little pitted right there. I don't know if you can see that or not. And they kind of get that dull look. So that's a telltale sign you need to oil your molds up. So pinch that top off, throw that back in the pile. I've got just a regular art brush, little mold or a little olive oil. Just shake that off. And usually, I should have started with the this one here, the brush bug, because it takes the most. All those little ridges. See if I can't shake some of that down in there. Really don't need that much on any one of them, but I'd rather them come out a little greasy and be moisturized than come out dry and pitty and pulling apart. They will pull apart also if you don't let them cool long enough. You try to pull them out of the mold too quick. It's pretty nasty. They're still half gummy. And they're not bad right now, but we're getting a little bit of time in between these shots. But I was moving pretty fast last night on a couple of them, and I think that temperature is too low. Yep, 286. We're going to throw that back in there. Since we got to reheat that anyway, let's just throw all this plastic back in. we'll just go ahead and melt the plastic back down. All the little tidbits in there, except for that part that you just pulled out of there. Go back in here. And let's go a minute on it. Okay. Let that go for a minute. Stir that back up. Good to go. Throw these gloves back on. I'll probably take these gloves on and off about 50 times during this process. They're good for the hot plastic, but you can't get anything done. You can't grip anything while you got them on. Pressure. Shoot a little bit within them. There you go. Evacuate the injector, which isn't much, and then let it cool off. Now I'm hoping in the next week or two that I will have a couple new molds coming. I want at least a 7-inch ribbon tail and a Cinco mold. I really don't think that you can make fishing lures without a worm and a Cinco. I don't know. We're going to play this. We're going to go ahead and try this. These molds feel a little warm, so these may stick. Let's open them slow. Gotta watch too, because when they warm, they haven't set up all the way. You'll pull these little legs off, and these sprues. You can still tell that sprue has still got liquid in it. So you don't watch it. See how floppy that is? That will come pouring out on your fingertips, which I did last night, and got myself pretty good. Just know going into it that you're gonna get burnt doing this. Just depends on when and how bad, you know. So yeah, looks like all these are going to turn out, which is good. I can tell just by feeling them. That one's not too bad, but I can tell by feeling them, those first two, that they could have hung out in that mold just a little bit longer, but they're standing in the way of progress. Also too, if you don't watch them, you try to shoot them too fast, like the ends here, whatever your tops will be, you'll get air cavities in them. And so if you ever try to go to run a hook through there and you got an air cavity, it's just going to pull right out. So it's just real slow, steady pressure, and you'll be as good as gold. So I'm going to shut this thing off for now before I burn myself, and then I'll check back in with you guys once we're done. So hang tight, we'll be back. Okay, so there you go, guys. Got all wrapped up. Took a little over an hour to shoot them all. Like I said, I really like this color here. See if I can break my phone out here and get some light on it. If you guys can see those colors, the sparkles in those things, but they shine like crazy. Not so much and those brush bugs, but they really shine down those flappers. Same way with the hog hunters here. Almost forgot what they're called. Yeah, super happy with it. I think we're going to decide we're going to stick with the name Cosmos on these, and we'll go from there. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. If you guys got any comments or anything, tips, make sure you post them down below. And like I said, appreciate you guys watching. Have a good night.